changes you. Ask somebody where you're going. Ask somebody where you're going. When you put your hand, when you get hooked up with Jesus, he's going to take you where you got to go. Anybody believe in that? That's what he want to do. He want to take you where you got to go. And so many of us, Cola, have our own direction, even though we say we're walking with Jesus. I just don't understand that. But maybe some of you who are educated can make sense of that to me. That we are going with our hands in the hand of Jesus, but we're going where we want to go. And there's so many people who says that, yes, the Lord is my guide, and he is my shepherd. If he is your shepherd, I wonder who's feeding you. But if he's your shepherd, he should be leading you. Am I right? He should be guiding you into green pasture if he's your shepherd. Somebody sing the song, say, if he's your shepherd, why aren't you following? And I want to just encourage you to make up your mind where you're going. Just make up your mind where you're going. Everybody should have a sense of direction, some sense of direction. But there's some people who are not good with direction. Even if you explain it to them, they're still lost. Some people, you write it down, you lay it out, you put points in, and you say that, look at this place here. You put markers, and they still will get lost. They're just not good with direction. Here's the thing. If you don't know where you're going, it's okay. There's nothing wrong with not knowing where you're going. But if somebody is there who knows, go with them. Is that all right? That's all you have to do. You don't have to be sure of where you're going, but you can put your hands in Jesus' hand today. Is anybody believe in that? You can hold on to his garment. Is anybody believe in that? You can say, God, I don't know how to get healed, but I believe if I can hold on to your garment, it will lead me into healing. Anybody believe in that today? You can go with Jesus. You don't got to stay lost. Some people just don't got good sense of direction. No matter how you explain it to them, no matter how you show them, you can lay it out on the map, they'll still get lost. Some people are just lost and they're asking no direction. And then, as I said, there's some people that gives direction so bad. Oh, my God. Until all they do is cause the loss to be more or losser. More lost. You're already lost. And the person that is giving you the direction cannot define where you ought to go and direct you properly and say to you, this is what you need to do to get where you're going. But the first thing you need to know where you're going, that's the first thing you need to know where you're going. Is there anybody in here who know where they're going? Come on, raise your hands if you know where you're going. You might not know how you're going to get there, but you should at least have in mind where you're going. You should not just be living from day to day, hoping and expecting when I wake up tomorrow, somebody's going to show me where to go. Someone's going to tell me what I'm going to. But you should have a goal in mind. And I advise that goal should be heaven. Is that all right in this house? My recommendation is that goal should be eternity with God. Is that all right, Brother Francis? It should be heaven. Heaven should be our focus. Heaven should be our view, Midas. It should be ahead of us every day of our lives. We should live that I will leave this planet and find myself in the kingdom of God around the throne forever. It should be our focus. It should be our goal. It should be the goal of every Christian in the Bahamas and throughout the world. It should be our goal. It should be our finish line. We should set it as a marker. We should say, today I'm running and I'm a little weak, but I'm going to get there one of these days. Is that all right? Anybody want to go to heaven? And don't raise hands. Everybody want to go to heaven. Don't ask a crazy question. Even the atheists and the unbelievers want to go to heaven. Why? Because heaven is a better place, Sister J. Heaven is a better place. Anybody know what heaven is? Heaven is a holy place. That very thing that we aspire for, my aspiration, my hope, my dreams. Everybody want to be this and want to be like Mike, want to be a doctor, want to be a lawyer, want to be the prime minister. But we should want to go to heaven. And many preachers are preaching and saying we should not strive to go to heaven because where Jesus is heaven. And if Jesus is right here, then we have heaven. Fine, Jesus is here with me and I do have a bit of heaven, but I'm still in the earthly realm. I'm not crazy. I know that the devil still has principalities and powers. I know that he is still the ruler of the air. I know that there's still powers in darkness. I know that there's still witchcraft. I know that there's still heresies. I know that there's still obeah workers. I know that there's still darkness among us. I am glad that Jesus is here, Brother Fred. I'm glad that he shows up. I'm glad that when the praise team worship him, he inhabits the praises of his people. I'm glad that he comes in and dwells with us. But in the midst, in spite of all of that, there is still chaos. There is still darkness in this place. Oh, you don't know no darkness, eh? You don't know no witchcraft workers, eh? You don't know no obeah workers, eh? You don't know no soothsayers, eh? You don't know them who are praying evil against you every day and speaking it against you every day. Them that came to harm you and to offset you. Them who came to destroy the seed that God has. So why should I be comfortable in this place, Lisa? Why should I be happy residing here? And some people are building the kingdom as if they never want to leave this planet. But my hope is built on nothing less than Jesus' blood and righteousness. What it says, Midas, I dare not trust us, but only lean on Jesus, on Christ, the solid rock I stand. All other ground is sinking sand. That's why our hope has to be in God. It cannot just be in the things that will corrupt, the things that will be destroyed, the things that will rot away, the things that mold and mildew will corrupt and it will be destroyed. The Bible says where thieves do break through and steal. But our hope has to be in those things that are eternal. You need to know how to get to heaven. Is anybody want to go to heaven? Too many people want to go to heaven and don't know how to get there. You think that you're going to just get to heaven. My mother used to say, nobody goes to heaven on flowery bed of ease. Must Jesus bear the cross alone? And all I feel like preaching in the old time way, and all the world go free. There's a cross for everyone. I'm preaching to me now. I don't have to preach to you. This was my message. This was me. There's a cross for everyone. And there's a cross for you and me. My cross might not come like your cross. My own might not come in financial struggle. Mine might not come in sickness in the body. Mine might not come in problems on my job or problems on my children. But I got a cross and you got one. Could you go with me for a moment? You just got a lot of you just got a lot of things nailed to the cross. You got sickness. Somebody got sickness nailed to their cross. Some people got financial struggles nailed to their cross. And the more is nailed to your cross, the heavier it is to bear. But Jesus promised that if any man were to come after me, let him do what? Deny himself. Let him do what? Deny himself. Somebody got to lay self down. You going with me to heaven today? Is that all right? Could we take about 20 minutes to get there? Deny yourself. That's our biggest struggle. That's our biggest struggle. Deny yourself. Deny worldly lust. Deny ungodly things. You can't tell your children how to dress if you're dressing worse than them. Is that all right? You can't tell them how to speak to other people when you're talking about everybody and bringing everybody down and everybody and everybody. You got to deny worldly lust. You have to deny ungodliness. You have to put down some things. You got to move self from you. You have to tell yourself, self, you're trying to get me to hell. You're sending me in the wrong direction. But I got a cause. So the Bible said, if any man were to come after me. So first thing, as we established in the beginning, that we got to put our hands where? In the hand of Jesus. If you're going with me, you can't go there by yourself. You got to put your hand in Jesus' hand now. John's hands are big, but they can't get you to heaven. Percy, let me see your hands. So when you see them, they can lift you anywhere, but they can't get you to heaven. Glitch, you got hands? I'll look at them. Oh, Jesus, give me strength. Look at them. He could carry the 3 of his girls one time, or 4 of them, but he can't get them to heaven. Teacher, let me see your hands. They're a little stubby, but they could carry can, but they can't get her to heaven. Pastor J, let me see your hands. Lady CJ, you see them? They took you far. 30-some years, but they can't get you to heaven. You got to put your hands where? In Jesus' hand. You got to hold on to him. The woman said, if I but touch the hem of his garment, I know I'll be okay. If I can get near to him. Anybody want to get near to Jesus today? That's your first criteria. You got to get near. Some of you too far from Jesus. If you could deny yourself, if you could get rid of self, somebody raise your hands and say self. Raise yourself, say, oh self. Self, oh self. You don't got to add that next because you know what you should say next. You know what you should say next. Say self, oh self. Anybody want to go with me and be honest with yourself? Paul said, oh wretched man that I am, who shall deliver me from this body of death? For the good that I want, I do not. But that which I do, I can't help myself. It seems sometimes. So I need to be delivered from this death situation. And only Jesus can deliver me out of this. This ain't the kind of message I would like to preach to you, but this is what God told me to preach to you today. Who should deliver me from this body? Who's going to bring me out? Who's going to take me out of this grave situation? Who's going to bring me out of these ashes? It is going to take somebody greater than you and I. And his name is Jesus. His name is Jesus the Christ of Nazareth, the only begotten of the Father. He is the only God that is able to deliver us out of the hands of the enemy, and that first enemy self. And so we must deny ourselves, and then do what? Take up what, brother? Take up what? Your cross, and follow, and do what? And follow. Oh, somebody here saying, but no, you're missing it. And follow daily. That's the word. Don't just follow Jesus, but follow when? Every day. This is an everyday thing. See, you could say, take up your cross and follow. You could do that, right? And so you take up your cross and follow. But you all the way up the road in the race, and your cross, you rest down way back up in the bush when you was catching a rest under the dilly tree or by the fence, by the water hole. You left your cross right there. But Jesus said, do what? Take it up when? Take it up daily. Every morning, get your cross with you. What kind of Christian talk this is? If you want to get to heaven, you got to carry your cross. Christians should be the only people on this planet never complain. You should be glad to get your cross. Understand Jesus. When he was going to Calvary, he took up his cross and put it on his shoulder. The soldiers took him and led him to Calvary with a cross on his shoulder. Jesus could have thrown the cross down. He could have thrown it down and tell them, kill me right here. Because y'all going to kill me anyhow? Y'all going to kill me anyhow. Am I right, Pastor J? I can't the cross. The devil is a liar. No, sir. I'm not going to tote that cross. You're going to have to kill me. I don't care. But I'm not toting that cross. But as the soldiers rested on his shoulder, he toted the cross. He fell down with it. And he got back up. And they saw him had a need. He didn't beg nobody to help him. Told he knows it's gone. That's what man does. Man in the fair. They saw and said he need help. And they called Joseph of Arimathea and said, Joseph, come here. You look big and strong. You carry this cross for him. But every man, woman must bear their cross alone. If you're going to heaven, you got to bear your cross. Now, what is your cross? What all is nailed to your cross? What all is in your cross? When Jesus was nailed to the cross, he had my sins. Come on, somebody testify. Now, understand this, Dawn. He had my sins. My sins was a mess. A whole bag of garbage that he had to tote. In my sin was a liar, a thieving, murderer, backsliding, conniving, cheating, whoremongering, idolater. He had a whole lot of problems nailed to his cross in me. He also took my sickness. He took my weakness. He took all of my mess. Could I ask you today, what all is nailed to your cross? What all you going through? What all you going through? What all you going through? And you're complaining. You're complaining. But Christians should never complain. It should be our last watchword. This is where problem come in. Some people lost with direction. That's why Jesus didn't send us, Sister Khan. He said, do what? Come, Sonia. Come, Sonia. He said, do what? Follow me. Now, if you're following him, right? Watch out this follow. Sonia, if you're following him, you don't follow Jesus like this. Come behind me, Sonia. You don't follow Jesus like this. Nobody follows Jesus like this. That's crazy right there. You know why? The devil could come in the back of Jesus and get you. And he don't even know you're gone. And that's why what we do, we put our hands in his hand. Strive to enter through the narrow gate. For many, I say to you, will seek to enter and will not be able. And that's verse 24. And Luke chapter 13. Strive to enter through the narrow gate. You know what it means? You can't go where everybody else won't go and do what everybody else want to do. And say, he said, go through the narrow gate, Pastor J. Only if you won't go there. Peaches, if you're going where God wants you to go, you got to go through the narrow gate. Liz Taylor, ain't much people want to go that way. Because, boy, you got to do some stuff when you're going that way. Am I preaching the truth? You got to let go some people when you're going that way. Am I right? You got to cut off some company when you're going that way. Maria, you got to change your conversation when you're going that way. Jesus said to Thomas, Jesus said, Lord, how do we know the way? And how? Jesus said, Thomas, listen to this. He said, Thomas, I am the way. I am truth. You want to know the way? So, if Sister Brown know the way, and she carrying me and I'm with her, she's leading, but with Jesus, I don't know the way. I ain't that stupid to tell him, now, Lord, you know, people pray, Lord, I need you to fix this situation. I need you to go on my job. And that woman
Lord, you know my heart has nothing against her. But Lord, the way she treated me over this last 6 months, I need you to go and fix that woman. When your hand in Jesus' hand, you say, Lord, you see my cross. Just give me the strength to bear it. Just give me the grace. Anybody need grace? To endure. Because he said, my grace. I don't know what you're going through, but Pastor Jay preached it 2 weeks ago. But his grace is still sufficient. If we do not hold on to Jesus' hands, and I'm not talking about in eternity, but you're going to find yourself right here in this present world lost. Right here, lost. Because when you hand in hand with Jesus, there's communication. When you communicate with God in prayer, he communicates with you through his word. He speaks to your heart. He tells you that you're his own. He encourages you. He encourages you. He blesses you through his word. There's communication. There is fellowship. There is oneness. And so what happened? You grow. You have strength to endure. So when you're sick, what you do? You tell Jesus. When you're broke, what you do? Come on, would you call him when you're sick? Would you call him when you're broke? Would you call him when you're weak? Would you call him when you're downcast? Would you call him when you're oppressed? You got to understand that if you hold on to him, you'll get where you need to go. But too many people want to go there and want to go in their own way. But those who stray from the narrow way will find themselves shut outside the door of mercy and grace. Because the day is coming when God's grace and his mercy will be shut from you. Many will knock on the door and say, Lord, Lord, open for us. And he will answer and say unto you, I do not know you, where you are from. Then you will begin to say, but Lord, we eat with you, and we're in your presence, and you taught us in our own streets. You don't remember? But he will say, I tell you, I do not know you, and where you came from. Depart from me, all ye workers of iniquity. Stand to your feet in this house today. If we're going to go to heaven, we got to hold on to Jesus. Is that all right? Has anybody received this word today? If you're going to go to heaven, you got to hold on to Jesus. When you find yourself in the midst of grumbling and complaining, you're not truly trusting and holding on to God.